I don't want to mess it up. So, Steve Kozola, thank you for being on the show. Glad to have you here. Bellator lightweight. I mean, you came off an awesome victory this past March. I mean, how are you feeling, man? I know you're in a training right now. You just got done with training, but what have you been up to this past couple of months?
Man, well, I came out of that last fight 100%, obviously, with it being 28 seconds.
Yeah.
Everything was good. The body was healthy going into it. Body was healthy coming out of it. So you can't get much better scenario than that. You don't get paid by the minute. So in and out, no injuries, no problems. In the gym, been in the gym since that last fight, so no time off was needed. And just preparing for the next one, man. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Well, I know that there've been talks of guys not wanting to fight you because I guess they're scared of your hands or whatever. Has Bellator booked you a fight in the recent weeks? Oh, really?
Well, we don't have a contract signed or anything like that, so I can't make it an official announcement.
Okay.
But we do have an opponent, and we do have a date. We do have a location, so it's coming this fall. And it's going to be another great fight. I'm fighting another undefeated fighter. And you're just going to, again, just see me go in there prepared on all aspects, mentally, physically, spiritually, come in on point, make weight like a professional, show up on time like a professional, finish the fight like a professional.
Yeah. When did Bellator approach you about your next fight? Was it just recently?
Yeah. It was, I just got I had the date like a week ago, and then we just got the opponent's name. So, but again, no contracts aren't signed or anything like that. And so Bellator has to make the announcement and everything like that. But super excited to just have a name and have a place. I wanted a quick turnaround. With my 28-second performance on March 31st at Bellator 175. I wanted to go to London, or I wanted to be on the New York card, but I totally understand that there's just a lot of fighters on the roster. There's only so many shows per year that Bellator can put on. They have a budget. They have to get their names and their guys in. So I completely understand. I'm just glad that I got one booked out pretty good in advance, and I'm just looking forward to it, man. Just waiting to get back in there and just keep showing my constant improvement and just evolving. And I can't wait. I added some more pieces to the puzzle. I'm up here in Huntington Beach Ultimate Training Center. My manager, Tiki, has gotten a lot more involved with my training. I just got another addition to my wrestling with a wrestling coach, Coach Paul. And then just keep with the same guys at Team Quest, Oceanside Jiu-Jitsu. Manny Torres is my boxing coach in Carlsbad. So, man, as soon as I think it can't get any better, it's just getting better in terms of how my life has been improving. The training is improving, the periodization, the scheduling. It's just all been getting better, man. And I'm super blessed and super thankful for all this.
Nice. And do you have an idea when Bellator is make that announcement for your next fight?
They got a lot going on with the New York card
this
coming up
weekend.
on Friday, and then they got there's still like a couple cards after that. So I anticipate they won't announce it for probably another month or 2 months, or so. But hey, man, as soon as they announce it, then I'm gonna announce it all over the world. So I can't wait, dude. I mean, you always. As a fighter, you want to get people, let them know right away. But I mean, you know how it is in the sport, man. People could get hurt. Situations could happen with the venue and the promotion, stuff like that. So you don't want to count their chickens before they hatch. But definitely excited to have the opponent, have a name, have a date, have a location, and it's going to be phenomenal, man.
Yeah, I know the past couple of years have been kind of like stagnant a little bit for you. You had like one fight last year. You had 2 fights in 2015. You had 1 fight this year so far. I mean, I know a big struggle is the fact that you're hard finding guys to fight you. I mean, you know what I mean? So, the fact that you have another fight booked this morning, coming up, and how good does that feel? You know what I mean? To know that you can at least get 2 fights in this year. If not more, hopefully one before the end of the year. Do you think it's going to be your next fight going to be later in the year, or is it going to be early fall? Later fall, early fall?
It's probably going to be like mid to early fall.
Oh, okay.
Again, I hope to fight as often as possible, man.
Yeah.
If I keep getting out of these fights uninjured, thankfully, and everything keeps going well, I'm ready. I'm here. I'm always staying in shape, and I'm always ready to go. But for me, as a family man, as a husband, as a father, it's always great to know that I have something already booked and planned. It's the unknown that kind of gets you uncomfortable and scared in terms of not knowing when your next fighter is going to be, when you're going to get that next paycheck and everything like that. So as those years that you brought up that you mentioned, it was a lot of inconsistency and instability on a lot of areas, and it's hard. It's hard to make it, and it's hard to stay in there. But I truly believe that I'm meant to do this. I truly believe I'm meant to be one of the best in the world. I truly believed I'm meant to be a champion. So I just stuck with it, and thankfully for my amazing family, my wife, my son, and all their constant support. You don't get through this alone, man. There's no way I wouldn't be where I'm at without all this amazing help I've got. So just very blessed, very fortunate, and so thankful that I got something set up and just progressing towards it, just one step at a time.
Yeah. Now this weekend is Bellator's making its pay-per-view run here in New York City, and then also guys from the UFC are jumping ship to Bellator. I think right now Bellator has a pretty big momentum coming in 2017. Your thoughts on Bellator, and does it excite you knowing that all these guys from the UFC are coming down to Bellator, maybe have a matchup with you at some point?
Dude, it's awesome. I think Bellator is making some amazing moves right now with the pay-per-views coming, going to Madison Square Garden, signing big names like Phil Davis, Ryan Bader,
Rory McDonald.
Yeah, I mean Lima, Rory McDonald. I mean, they're just signing guys left and right, which is just making some noise and more splash in sport. That's good. I think Bellator's doing a great job, and the UFC needs some good competition too. Right. And I think it's just enhance everyone. And Bellator, you see, they're perfecting their craft, man. They're putting on great shows, they're signing good names, and I think they're doing a lot better build up for this pay-per-view with the countdown show and everything like that. Getting a little bit more behind the scenes stuff, I think is huge. You need to create an emotional attachment to the fighters, which UFC does really well. They do, the embeds, they do the countdowns and everything like that. And I think that's what gets fans really emotionally invested in the fighter, which gives them emotionally invested in the fight and the card. And now that Bellator is starting to do that, watch, the fans are going to grow and, keep putting on legit, exciting fights and matchups, and it will just keep on expanding. I'm excited, man. I think I'm back in Bellator at the right time, and the pay's good too. Like, there's not like a big difference between Bellator and UFC as far as the pay structure too. And on top of that, we get to have our own sponsor.
That's a big deal.
Huge. So I can have all my own sponsors who can pay me whatever. Like that's awesome. What they're paying me is not Bellator's. That's not their business or their problem. Whereas with UFC, that's a huge thing with Reebok and everything like that. So that creates a lot of animosity with a lot of guys. So I'm happy to be where I'm at.
And for the fans who don't really know your background too much, give them an idea of how you got into the sport, and then how you became the undefeated,
fighter
that you are today.
Well, my first introduction to martial arts was when I was younger. I started doing Taekwondo when I was 7 years old. My mom wanted me to get a little bit more discipline and structure, help me build some confidence. So I started doing traditional martial arts, Taekwondo, and did tournaments. Sparring, board breaking forms, all the traditional stuff and stuff like that, and ended up earning my black belt in that just before my 12th birthday. Not too many things that you do take from Taekwondo as far as like what's applicable from Taekwondo to MMA, except being comfortable with throwing kicks, some spinning attacks, good dynamic movement, stuff like that. So, but after that, I wanted to get into more traditional sports. So I started playing football and running track. Those were my two sports in high school. And then actually got recruited and played 1 year of Division III football in my hometown of Naperville, Illinois, at this school called North Central College. And I was playing wide receiver for them, but I just kind of fell out of love with the sport. And I ended up actually transferring from North Central College to Northern Illinois University. And I wasn't going to play football at the Division I level. That wasn't going to happen. I was not big enough at all. And I was, but I'm still a competitor. What can I do? And the UFC was up and coming at the time. So I was like, let me try my hand at mixed martial arts. But Midwest, man, there's not a lot of good, especially, this time, this is this is 8, 9 years ago. There just wasn't that many gyms, especially in that area. But I ended up finding a guy named Sean Jackson who was just renting some space out at a local karate taekwondo gym. And we had 4 guys, and that's where I did my amateur career, was in college. And did 4 amateur fights and all in Illinois during my when I was in college, went 3-1. And once I graduated from Northern Illinois with a degree in kinesiology, I did my internship in Las Vegas and trained at the Throwdown Gym. And during that time, my coach moved from Illinois to Southern California. And when he moved there, he's like, guys, the training out here is great. Just come and check it out. So I drove from Las Vegas down to Southern California and just checked out some training there as well. And you could just see and feel the difference from, the training on the West Coast versus the training in the Midwest was just night and day. So I was like, if I'm going to do this, I got to find a way to make it out here. So long story short, I ended up just, after I got done with my internship in Las Vegas, a couple months later, I just packed up my stuff and just got on a plane and moved to California. I was working at a machine shop, which I don't know shit about manufacturing or any of that.
Yeah.
It's just what I had to do to survive.
Yeah.
You know, when you have that big dream, you're not just going to hop into your dream right away on most circumstances. You know, I had to start at the bottom. So I was sleeping on a couch, trying to take public transportation out here, which if you don't, I mean, you guys know how it is in West Coast.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it was hard. It was a really rough come up, and turned pro in July of 2013, and got a submission win there, and just kind of kept the ball rolling. I did what I had to do to survive, and then every other second was dedicated to training and improving. And you make a lot of mistakes along your way. You get some awesome relationships, and you lose relationships. Ups and downs, money coming in, no money coming in. Just a crazy road, man. But overall, I just got to say that I had to get to the spot, which was for me the West Coast, which was for me Southern California. And one thing just led to another in terms of meeting the right people, surrounding yourself with just a good championship environment of good fighters, good coaches, good training partners, good people. And if you stay focused and stay on task and take away all the BS, man, eventually your dreams are going to chase you. You don't have to chase your dreams as long as you just work hard enough. So, to all you young guys out there, future fighters who are struggling, like I trust me, I've been there. I know, but you will find a way. If it's important to you, you will find a way. If it's not, you'll find an excuse. So, bite down, get grinding, make those sacrifices needed, and you'll be surprised that the right people, the right opportunities come into your life at the exact right time, but just stay on point, stay prepared, because when the opportunity comes, it's too late to be prepared. You got to be prepared for that moment always, right off the bat. And so that for me was my last fight. I mean, I was just staying ready, waiting for a fight. Then all of a sudden I met Tiki. He became my manager. It was like, hey, got you a great contract with Bellator again, and we got this fight. You ready? I'm like, born ready. Let's do this.
Nice. How did you get involved with Tiki though? Like, where'd you meet him?
Well, I was working at the UFC gym a little bit before, and when I was up in Huntington Beach doing a trainer certification, I met Razor Rob McCollum, and him and Tiki are great friends. So he put me in touch with Tiki, and I ended up reaching out to him a little bit later, and came out to Huntington Beach again and had a great meeting with him and asked him what would you what do you think about being my manager? Do you think it'd be a good fit for you and I? Where would you like to see my career go? And we were just hitting on all fronts, and he's a great dude. He's got great experience, and he works with a lot of big names, and he's a pioneer of the sport. So we clicked right away. He's a good man of integrity, and I trusted him, and he followed through on his word and got me a great contract. And not only did he do that for me, he recognized my gifts as a coach and as a trainer, and hired me on as his fitness manager at Huntington Beach Ultimate Training Center. So now I have a full-time job here as well as training, and I got my team in Temecula with Team Quest as well, my coach, Manny Torres Boxing, Oceanside Jiu-Jitsu. So, man, just an amazing championship environment. And it's hitting on all fronts.
That's really cool, man. That's cool, man. Well, we're about 6 months into June. Almost half the year has gone by. What are some of your goals for 2017 before the year is gone?
I will. I mean, obviously, I got my my fight that I have lined up, and I would love to get one more in before the end of the year. Ideally, I want to be fighting 3 to 4 times a year. But even if it doesn't happen, even if it's just 2 fights, that is okay. I want to keep moving up the ladder, man. Just one fight at a time, and earn my way to big fights, big contracts, and eventually the title. For me, it's about being a good provider for my wife and my son. That's always going to be number one, and number one is my wife and my son, and providing for them. So as long as I'm able to take care and feed my family and do what I love to do, man, like this is it, man. Living the dream.
Awesome,
man. Is there anybody else in the division, not naming the opponent that you have next, that you have your eye on? That you want to compete
there's
against?
A couple guys. I mean, obviously, I called out Dylan Dennis in my last fight, and he is silent. He is completely, utterly silent. So his whole BS of I'm not scared of anyone, I'm this, I'm on that, it is just BS. So I don't know if he's a publicity stunt. I don't know if he's even going to really fight. I don't know what's going on with this dude.
Because he's signed, right?
I don't know. I mean, and honestly, like, who cares? Like, I mean, he's just one of those guys that everyone loves to hate, and he's fake, and I called him out on it. And he knows what he's doing is illegitimate, and he's just trying to play that bad guy role so he can, just cut the line and work his way to money and big fights. Which okay, but when you're in there and you're looking across the cage, and you got a legitimate guy who's put his time in, and he's not we're not singular fighters anymore. You're not going to come up with just one discipline. I mean, I respect that Dylan Dennis is a phenomenal black belt, under Marcelo Garcia. Not taking that away from him. I'm just saying, even with that credential, that does not just cut you in line to the top of Bellator. No way. Yeah. You got any guy who's well-rounded will, sprawl and brawl and knock his ass out. And, we'll see. I think Bellator and him are going to try to make their money with, get him some, light guys. And, he'll probably just end up, going in, hugging them, tripping them, taking them down and applying a submission of some sort for a couple of times. But it's not going to last too long, in all honesty. But another person who I wanted to fight was Adam Piccolotti. I was like, okay, well, that makes a lot of sense, right? He's 9-0.
Yeah.
8-0. Yeah. He's, I think he's got 5 fights in Bellator, I believe. Right. Like 3 finishes, I think, and something like that. But he's like, Steve Kozola doesn't deserve to fight me. I'm like, what the hell do you mean I don't deserve to fight you? You're 9-0, I'm 8-0. Yeah. I have 3 wins in Bellator, plus a win with World Series of Fighting. I fight in the main card, you fight in the main card. So I don't know what you mean that I don't deserve to fight you. So that makes no sense. Again, I think he's just kind of, I think he's intimidated. Who wants to get knocked out?
Yeah.
No one.
No one.
It's one thing to get decisioned. It's one thing to get submitted. To get knocked out really, I think, resonates and sits with you for a lot longer. Yeah, for sure.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't blame him for not wanting to fight me. His time, him and I will have to fight sooner or later. So that's another guy who I have on my radar as well. So between Dylan Dennis and Piccolotti, I think those are 2 guys I would love to fight in the near future, but I doubt that they'll accept it.
Yeah.
Speaking of big money fights, Mayweather versus Conor got announced. Your thoughts on the fight, and do you think that Conor has a chance of winning this fight?
Well, I don't think Conor has a chance, to be honest with me. This is what I've always said. Boxers don't come into the cage because we will whoop you. Yeah. And on vice versa, MMA fighters don't go into the ring because they'll whoop us. I mean, you have to realize that all the time that we've put into any type of grappling, kicking, jiu-jitsu, they're all been just perfecting the singular discipline of boxing, which is an amazing specialty art. And the angles, the footing, distance, positioning, it's all different. And Floyd Mayweather has mastered it. I mean, he is older, but he's been doing it longer. And he comes from an amazing lineage of a boxing family in the Mayweathers. I mean, that whole family's been boxing and perfecting for years and generations. So this is not a fight that's going to be good for McGregor. I mean, he's going to make big money, which is good. I think if he goes out there and has just a decent showing, it's going to be a win for him. He does have a puncher's chance, being a southpaw, being the bigger guy, but it's just so minimal that I don't think it's just going to be that impact. I mean, yes, there's a puncher's chance that you have in MMA, but in this type of rules and style matchup, I mean, for me, it's a 0.001% that he's able to land a shot that is able to take Floyd out. To be honest, I think Floyd's going to do. He's a smart fighter too. As much he is a cocky, all about money type of dude. He's very smart. He's a very intelligent fighter. So I see him managing distance very well, being able to stick and move on Conor. And I think he ends up putting him away probably in the later rounds, probably around round 7 or 8.
I think it'll end early then, huh?
Yeah, and there's also different pace and different tempo and conditioning for boxing than it is MMA. MMA, there's a little bit more rest points with, with the takedowns and the grappling situations. There's just more periods where you can rest. Whereas with boxing, it's like, 3 minutes, high pace, fast twitch, back and forth, a lot of upper body movement and everything like that. Conor's a fantastic MMA striker, but you have to realize he's a fantastic MMA striker when you put in the aspects and the pieces of there's kicks involved, there's elbows, there's knees, there's takedowns. When you don't have those options anymore and there's just hands, how good of a striker is he? We don't know, and we're going to find out, but I don't think he's good enough to take on, Money Mayweather in boxing.
True. Yeah.
Wow, good points.
Good points, man. Thank you for being on the show. I mean, it's great having you. You're obviously very insightful on a lot of things, and just in terms of your career, we loved your career so far at this point, and look forward to your next fight coming up. Hopefully, we get to talk to you around that time when it's in your fight week and all that stuff. So that'll be cool.
Absolutely.
Maybe if you can, let the fans know where they can find you on social media and some of your sponsors if you want to plug them.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you so much. Well, first of all, guys, thank you so much for having me on our show. It's a pleasure. You guys are awesome dudes. Thanks. Really appreciate it. You can find me on social media, Steve Kozola MMA. on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, Steve Thunderbeast Kozola. My sponsors, Clinch Gear, they're amazing people. Quality Environment, Purist Labs, SoCal Fresh Prep. I mean, without the help of my sponsors, all this stuff doesn't happen. I mean, helping me to pay for training, helping me with my meals, my supplements, all these things. Their help is just phenomenal. And thank you to my team, my coaches, my team up in Huntington Beach Ultimate Training Center, my manager Tiki, my guys in Team Quest in Temecula, Dan Henderson's gym. Oceanside Jiu-Jitsu, Manny Torres Boxing. I mean, between my team and my coaches, they're the ones that really make this possible and make me who I am, the fighter. So it's not me. I just come in, do the work. They're the masterminds behind everything. So it's amazing. And also, thank you to my wife for being the amazing woman she is, and my son Bradley. I want nothing more in my life than to be this man. This little boy's hero.
Yeah.
So
happy belated Father's Day too.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But, just trying to be my son's biggest hero. And it's awesome, man. I'm super blessed, super thankful for all this platform and these opportunities. So thank you guys so much for having me. I will, as soon as I can announce it, you guys will be one of the first to know for sure. We'll come on. We'll talk about it, how I'm going to look at do that.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. Like your story is great and very inspirational. So Josh and I are looking forward to seeing your fight in the fall. And until then, best of luck in training and best of luck in your fight as well.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. God bless. And I'll talk to you guys soon, all right?
Take care. Have a good day.
Take care.
All right, brother. Bye.
Bye.